It has been many moons as I'm being attacked from a drown. Last time, we transformed this ocean monument with a guardian farm inside, which is still looking ugly, so we're not gonna take a look inside. Since then, many things have changed. I have updated this world to 1.18, and I've made a few additions. For example, this portal that now connects to the nether roof. And as you can see in the distance, I've already prepared some carpet to kind of connect my areas. And we have another portal over there connecting to our spawn chunks. This is the home portal connecting to our ugly cave. And I think in the distance over there, we have another portal with a pillager outpost. I will be building an iron farm, and I want to be using pillagers and pacify them. So they have these crossbows. They're gonna start shooting at me, and when I use a shield, I don't take any damage. For some reason, I think when I update to 1.18, my achievements got reset. So that's why sometimes I get these funny early game achievements. The crossbows that they have, the pillagers, they have an actual durability. And after they shoot it, I don't know, 200 times I think, it actually breaks, and then they can't do any harm anymore. I have been thinking about where and how to build this iron farm, and very quickly I decided I want to use the spawn chunks of this world, because in case you didn't know, the spawn chunk area, where you start out in the world at the very beginning, are always loaded. So if we build an iron farm over there, that's actually quite useful. But then I did some research on iron farms, and I think I found one that uses the nether and portals. So I think I will actually build the farm up here in the nether. We already have a villager over here. Then use portals that transport the iron golems into the spawn chunks where they get killed. If we are here at the villager breeder now, I can just put a minecart here, pick up a villager. It goes into the bubble column. Minecarts actually transport up with bubble columns as well, which is awesome. They go to the next tracks over here. I break the minecart. Just gotta push him a little bit. And then I set it down and he's free again. Now I can open this up and put him next to the other villager. As you can see, these pillagers are pacified and I named them. And as you also see, I already took one away and started with a build. Let me talk a little bit about the idea of the farm. I basically am following one of the videos of Logical Geekboy, which I will link down below, where he explains everything about iron farms, which is super interesting. The main difference that we will need to look at later on is that we will have to add chains above the beds, because I think in 1.17 that kind of changed a little bit. Other than that, we have the first pillager in here, and this is going to be the first villager pod with 3 villagers in there, and then another one there, and 2 more on this side, and then we can stack the whole thing on top of each other and have a second level of this. Each of these pods will have a spawning platform above with nether portals, so that when the iron golems spawn, they immediately leave the area through the portal, and so the timer for the villager can start quickly again. Beyond preparing the villager pods, which is actually quite dangerous with the beds in the nether, I think I should get all of the villagers from the other side of this portal so that I can destroy this portal and set up the killing area for the iron golems on the other side as well. I think I'm ready to have a first test with filling up one of these pods. As you can see, I added some chains above the beds, and I think this should work. This is the trapdoor just above the sea lantern. Let's move up these villagers. And I'm not sure if, because they might still have some potatoes in their inventory, so I wonder if I put 2 up there, if they're going to breed or not. They have love hearts, but I don't think they can see the beds yet. So yeah, they can't breed right now. And the idea now is to break the minecarts, to open this up, to open the trapdoor, and then to push them in there. Or maybe they will walk in there on their own when they register the bed. Let's see if this is going to work. First one's coming. That was too high. I think when I tested it in creative, they didn't take fall damage, so something that I did wrong. But it seems to be working, and I think I can place the glass block here. And now we have to wait for nighttime, which still works in the nether even though nothing changes. And I closed off the pillager right now because I don't want any iron golem spawning so far. It's looking very good. Now I just have to hope that when they wake up, they actually end up on the right block again. After taking a little nap, it's looking good. It's looking good. Very nice. that's all 3, I think. I think it's a good time for an update. So I have 4 of these pods ready with 3 villages each. And that was not too difficult. It was just a long wait for all the villages to breed up and then pushing them up. But once I figured out how to do it, how to push them in here, it wasn't too difficult. So let's talk about how these villages are going to spawn the iron golems. We have the pillager here, and we will need a system that raises these glass blocks with pistons so that when they are raised, the villagers can see the pillager, get scared, and then they will summon iron golems. And just for measuring purposes, something's up there. Just for measuring purposes, I built the first slice of the portal. So this is where the iron golems will be spawning and then be teleported to the overworld. We will have a second layer, and I don't have a pillager up there yet, so I think that's the next job. And I'm trying to use glass blocks for all the building stuff, and this should probably also be glass or with a button, so that no iron golems will spawn while setting up the farm, because it's just terrible. I've had it happen so many times in the past. Then golems spawned and killed the zombie, killed the pillager. That's just really not nice. I think I have to build up a staircase now to the very top, which is quite a long staircase. And then I'll try to get in the rest of the villagers and the second pillager. It's already looking quite fancy. I did some cleaning. This bottom area is all cleaned up because I am finished with all the villagers and the pillagers. And as you can see, I already installed the first module for the pillager to be raised up. So we just have a hopper clock down here, and then the signal gets transported towards this redstone torch, which powers this sticky piston. And basically what this does, every few minutes when this clock runs out, the piston will go down for a short period of time and then up again. And once I remove these glass blocks, the pillager will then be able to scare these villagers. There's another big thing that needs to be done. It's the Nether Portal, the elephant in the room. And actually I need lots and lots of obsidian. I've been mining some already. Is this the right shulker box? No. Maybe this one, yes. So I already have 3.5 stacks, but in total I need 10 stacks. So let's head over to the end. And I think I identified a pretty good method of doing this. Basically it's just mining these pillars, but you can go down and mine 2 of them at the same time. And let me prepare this. Let me use F3 and P. Now I can tap out of the game and it continues to run. And now I placed my pickaxe in a way so that I will mine both of these blocks, and I will hang over so that I won't mine into the void, but actually get stopped. And now that we have this going, I can do the F3 and T trick to reload the resource packs, and now it should continue to mine. And the good old clapping my hands are off my keyboard, and now I can actually tab out of the game and wait for 3 or 4 minutes until I'm down to the bottom. My inventory is a crazy mess, but I am ready to build 40 portals. The first layer of portals is done, and I miscalculated heavily. I have barely 3 stacks left, so I used up 7 stacks I think for this layer alone, which is a lot more than I thought. I don't know where my mistake was, but let's head over to these portals that are already lit. These 2, I tested it. These should connect to a prepared portal on the other side. Not much here yet, except for this portal, but it should be working. So now I think we can go through the other portals, light them up, and activate them by going through, and hopefully we enter the exact right portal. And I have to be careful with these guys. Right now it's not spawn proof. I have a job to do now, lighting up all the portals, and I forgot 1 row of bone blocks over there. And then I gotta mine more obsidian, add the timer for the pillager. I think I have only added it at the top right now. If I go over here, we have added it here. So I will also have to add that at the bottom one. And I think then we're almost done. As you can see, we are in a little bit of a situation. Our farm is spawning magma cubes as well as iron golems, which is not ideal. but actually I already took care of that, and this is just the remainder of from before. There are a few changes around here. Let me try to explain what I'm going for. Since we are in a basalt delta, as you can see from the dust and the grayish light blue sky color, we also have magma cubes spawning here. But what I did is I placed top slabs in between the portals and then some glass on top of that, so nothing spawns up there. And that prevents magma cubes from spawning actually, because they need a 3 high ceiling to spawn at all, because it always checks for a big magma cube, even if a small one could spawn in theory. So now we don't have this issue with the magma cubes anymore. I was thinking maybe to leave them in and farm magma cream at the same time, but this is not going to work, because the way we are going to kill the iron golems, maybe there's a way to make it work, but the way I was thinking to kill the iron golems, the magma cream would just get destroyed in lava. So the other issue that we had is that it seems like these portals are just too far away from one another. So if we take the furthest corner, it's just too far to the other furthest corner to be linked to the same portal. So that's why I decided to do 4 portals, as you just saw in the overworld. And this is how it looks with 4 portals, and now we just have to kind of combine the killing mechanisms, the killing chambers, or do 4 individual ones. And I think once we fly away, also all of these magma cubes will despawn. I think I'm actually at the point where building the killing chambers is the only thing that's left to do. The iron golems should already be spawning. Let's see some iron golems spawning if I remove these glass blocks. And the villagers at the top level should now start to be scared. Can we see that? We can't really see much right now, but in the bottom right corner where I have the subtitles, it just said Iron Golem hurts, because probably he spawned inside a block and then it teleported. So I've only been here for literally a minute, but if we go through the portal, we should be seeing at least 1 Iron Golem and ideally 4. There was just one. There was just another one that went through the portal. They should not be angry at me. And here we go. So the farm is working. Very, very nice. They're cleaning up the rest of the magma cubes. A few more up there. That's looking very good. I was just AFK for half an hour. So we can take a look both at what this killing area looks like and what results, what yield we got after half an hour. Also, I made a mistake. When I said earlier that we have top slabs here because magma cubes need 3 high blocks, I made a mistake and I actually had to rebuild the whole thing, not the whole thing, but the slabs, to use bottom slabs there because they need 2.5 blocks. And now they only have 2 blocks. So the iron golems still can spawn because it's not a solid block. It doesn't block the spawn itself, but the magma cubes can't spawn anymore. And now we have a view over here and can see some iron golems dying. And we have to be careful to not fall into this lava as well. And maybe let's move over here on one of the trees. You can see we have the 4 portals connected with the water, pushing the iron golems into the lava. And then the items are going into the water down below. And I channel them to the center. And after half an hour, I think 32 minutes, we have... That's amazing. Wow. That is a lot more than I thought. I tested it before already, but this is really good. Let me calculate really quickly. Look at this. That's 2 stacks and 3/4 of a stack of iron blocks. That's a total of 1,588 iron in half an hour. So about 3,000 per hour. This is amazing. And just calculate, that's like 53 iron per minute. That's like a crazy rate. And as I mentioned before, I tested it earlier as well. So I had it running after I finished it building without stopping the time. So I don't know, this probably would be like 1.5 hours if I look at the amount of blocks. But we now have an infinite amount of iron, which is really, really nice. I mentioned at a certain point in the series, at the very beginning I think, that I want to try to make my farms look nice. So I also want to do it with this one. And for my idea with this one, it's not very complicated, but it takes a lot of glass. And I wasn't sure if I should include it in this episode or not, but I've done some preparations without being able to record. So let me show my glass factory. I think this is actually the first part of my ugly cave base that I tried to make beautiful. If we go down here, you can see that I've added some rails to the back there. And I think you can see it already a little bit. I have cured plenty of villagers of librarians with all having the paper and the glass trade. If we go here, we have the paper trade for 1 paper, 1 emerald, and the 1 emerald for 4 glass. So this is our glass factory, and I've been active in trading, and I have all the glass I need. I gathered some dye, and now I'm ready to build a giant glass dome or a giant glass cylinder around our farm. So this is how we're looking, and you can see already in the back that I've added some lights. I haven't quite decided yet, so there are 2 options. Basically, there are 3 options. We could have no lights at all, which still looks nice, but lights and stained glass just look a lot better than without lights. We have this option over here with lava. We can always think about where to place them. I don't want to have them all over the place, but the lava has kind of this its own texture to it, its own color. So I don't really like the lava. And then also on the inside, it can be a little bit dangerous whenever I want to go AFK, which is down here. The other option is sea lanterns. And actually we have plenty of sea lanterns now since last episode. So I think we can use sea lanterns and use plenty of stacks. And this actually looks really amazing. Let's turn around now. Doesn't that look amazing? Again, depending on where we place the sea lanterns, these colors will be especially vibrant. And I really like the lime. I really like the yellow. I wish the red was more vibrant, but then they would be really close. I feel like this is a very good balance. Let me add all the sea lanterns. And after all, we're still heading down here into the ugly collection area. Don't look, don't look. But this is my sea lanterns. I think we need 16 more stacks. And here we are. This is from the inside. And this is from the outside. We have this issue with the glass where it sometimes doesn't render properly, but that's just something we have to deal with. And this is the perspective from our home base portal. I really like it. I think this turned out really nice for an iron farm. It's super productive. It's quite the eye catcher. And I hope you like it as much as I enjoyed making it. I will see you in the next episode. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. If you're new, consider subscribing. I am cnuz. Goodbye.